What's going on, guys? Those NBA games were good. It was good stuff yesterday. Those guys have to play back to back to back to back. Should be interesting to see how well they respond to all of these games. Those that have the greatest flexibility and the greatest strength are going to be the ones that go injury free. It should be interesting to see what LeBron does because he's got a whole regimen, including yoga and Pilates. I don't think he does much stretching other than the whole yoga static stretching, but he definitely understands the importance of being injury-free. So anyway, yesterday I talked about type 2B fibers and just wanted to pick up on that real quick. The goal is you want to develop strength without additional mass. Now, that word that I was looking for yesterday was sarcoplasmic. So when you're dealing with the sarcoplasmic tissues, what's going on is you put on bulk. When you're dealing with the myofibrillar tissues, basically you're putting on strength. 80% of your body is muscles. Okay? And so, of the 80% of your body that is muscle, 80% of the fibers are called your myofibril fibers, which is a huge thing to understand. Because if you train your myofibrillar systems, myofibral tissues, you're going to get stronger without increasing your mass. That right there should not be free. But anyway, so now, you have something called your ATP, your ADP, and your CP system. When you get involved with the ADP, then the creatine phosphate has to kick in and turn it into ATP. So the phosphagen pool regenerates 95% of that energy with 5 to 10 minutes of rest in between your sets. So if you want to really increase your vertical, it's important to understand the phosphagen pool, okay? How you train those tissues, and then the next question is how many reps are the right amount of reps for you to do? What's the best range? Is it 1 to 5? Is it 6 to 10? Is it 8 to 15? Or is it 16 to 25? What's the best rep range? I would love to hear from you and see which one you think is the best rep range to really increase your strength without increasing your mass. Greater strength is going to give you greater endurance. Okay? No endurance training is going to give you endurance. It's an interesting concept. So greater strength is going to give you greater muscle unit firing, so you're going to have more endurance. Endurance training doesn't necessarily give you endurance. That's crazy, but that's the way that it is. So do some research on the ATP, ADP, CP energy delivery system so you can understand that. Decide on what is the greatest rep range. Is it 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 8 to 15, 16 to 25? What's the best? And we'll talk about that some more. What else was going on? Remember that you're dealing with two different types of tissues, myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic. All right? So check those out. And when I come back, we're going to talk about how to increase this mass-specific force, okay? And what does it mean to improve your mass-specific force? Because remember, we're talking about delivering force to the ground. Without it, you ain't going to jump higher, okay? Talk about ischemia. It's a very important word to understand, ischemia. And yeah, that'd be about it. So if you have any questions, comments, you want to shoot some dunks over to me, I'd love to look at them. This is really good stuff to understand as a basic foundation to increasing your speed and jumping higher. All right, later. It's Coach Selby.